Hey everybody, it's Charlie and I'm back. So in my last update video, I talked a little about my new schizoaffective mental health diagnosis and how I've been coping with that information. I wish I could say that a lot has changed, but I am still very much just processing everything that they're telling me and what I feel about it all. And to be honest, I have many times just been really frustrated and discouraged about the process, and results aren't as fast or as comprehensive as I thought that they were gonna be. I've been on the same medication, but the side effects of those have started to outweigh the benefits. And so my doctors are looking to change me to a different medication, and that of course has upsets and side effects of its own, changing meds, and it's just all been very, very frustrating. And it's really made my symptoms and diagnosis flare up even more than it did before. It's the type of situation that can just drive you crazy because I feel like I'm waiting to be okay. I'm waiting for the medications to kick in and work like they should. I'm waiting to have a new normal that I can live by. And in the meantime, it's been frustrating to try to start anything when I know that my mental health can change at any second, or it could change in any moment. I could just be so frustrated and crazy that I could not do anything. But I happened to stumble on some of my old notes on purpose, and it's been very helpful for me during this time, and I hope that it's helpful for any of you guys out there. So these are 5 tools for people like me who are in sort of a waiting period and trying to figure out how to retain your purpose during seasons of waiting. So the first one is to cultivate who you want to be in this season. This is something that for me is usually the first one to go. When I'm in a bout of depression or mania or paranoia or any of those things are happening, I usually shut myself down and I just want to sleep all day and not do anything. But what I really want to challenge myself to do now is to figure out who I want to be in the midst of all of that, instead of letting it just happen to me. There are a lot of things about mental health that you can't change, but I can change the way that I respond to it. So for example, I am normally, in a normal season, I am a very independent person. I like doing things for myself and I really like my autonomy. But during this season of mental health challenges, I've needed a lot of support. And so I've needed to change my framework of myself that in this season, I'm a person who asks for help. I ask somebody, no matter what that looks like for me, whether it's, do you see that person sitting there in the room? Or does this thought make sense? Or something like that. I don't let those things control me. I control the narrative and in a way take back a little bit of my own autonomy. The second one is to understand that there is a plan for your life. For me, I get a really deep value and passion from Martin Luther King's beloved community, and the idea that everybody has a place where they can be seen, known, loved, and encouraged to live into their purpose. And I know for years scientists and psychologists have shown that the more that you engage with other people and the more that you feel connected and supported by a community, the more likely it is for you to thrive in your purpose and to thrive in whatever situation that you're in. So for me, part of cultivating myself in the season of depression is that I'll also reach out to my community, and that allows me to stand for what I believe in, but also help bring myself a little bit out of the funk that I'm in as well. The third one, though, is to still watch out for people who don't have purpose. I think that's something that's especially hard for me when I'm depressed and in a really sad place, is that I tend to want to surround myself with people who are sort of vibing on that same energy, and it ends up being a downward spiral for me. Not to say that those people don't have value and that I don't see and acknowledge the light in those people and the value that they bring to the world, but for me in particular, when I'm in a vulnerable place, I have to be careful who I surround myself with, because I need that support, and I will very easily go from a place that's sort of bad to a place that's really, really terrible because of the energies that I'm around. So it's a time to be mindful of who you're surrounding yourself with, even as you're trying to make those connections to other people. The fourth one is keeping the clarity to acknowledge the goodness in a situation, even if it's not great. Acknowledging the good things that make each day valuable, that make yourself valuable. The little things that you're able to do, whether you got up that day, making a meal for yourself. Acknowledge the goodness of those actions. Acknowledge what you were able to do for yourself, that it was a step more than the day before. I think for me, I've realized that life in general has seasons, and just like outside, the seasons are changing, and just because times are colder now and darker and just not as fun to be in, at least for me, doesn't mean that it doesn't have value, and doesn't mean that I can't get something out of it and that I can't build something beautiful in this time. As much struggle as there is, there's also campfires, there's also loved ones, good food, and that's what I'm all about. The last one is not to get trapped in learned helplessness, that you can build the life that you want, even with a mental health condition. There are people all around the world who have lived and died with mental health conditions who have changed the world. In fact, some of the greatest minds were not quite there. So we can't be too broken. We're revolutionaries, and I hope that we change the world. So anyways, I'm excited to hear your guys' comments about all of this. If any of this has been helpful for you, comment below, and definitely thumbs up this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Deuce.